Hello everyone, I'm back again with another God, and today I'm going to be going over Medusa. Medusa is the newest God that came out for Smite on Xbox One. Until, I think the next patch might be coming out tomorrow or Tuesday, which will be Alpwash. So Medusa won't be the newest God for too much longer, and she will also be getting nerfed. Finally, her 1 is getting nerfed. It did way too much damage. And even though she's getting nerfed, she's still going to be pretty good. Just not as powerful. She's more of an early to mid game hunter. So when you find an enemy team with a Shibalanke or Rom or Apollo or someone, they're going to out carry Medusa. But Medusa can put a lot of pressure on the enemy early because she has pretty good wave clear and really good poke with her too. And I enjoy Medusa a lot. I think she's pretty good. She has a very good teamfight ultimate too. So I'm going to start with item build. Unlike the mages, which I've been the last few videos I've done, hunters have very specific builds that they run. I'm going to go over 2 of them. The first one is going to be the Heartseeker build, which I believe is better on Medusa. The only downfall of this build is you don't start with any sustain or lifesteal, I guess I should say. But Medusa's pretty safe in lane. Her 2 has a long range on it, so she's usually okay until she can get the Aussie up. But anyway, you're going to the build. You want to start with Bluestone Pennant, so you can use your clear more often without running out of mana. I don't know, it's just the standard starter item for hunters pretty much, except for Apollo solo. Bluestone Pennant's very good. Then we're going to start with Heartseeker 1, just because that's what you're building into first, so really no other reason to get anything else. And then you're gonna get the health. Then start to the regular build. You're gonna finish Heartseeker first. You want to go and finish Heartseeker, so you're gonna get the stacks going. You do kind of have to be careful not to die, but at the same time, you're building Heartseeker because you're an early game hunter and you're trying to get pressure on the enemy early. You want to make sure you get pressure on them as quickly as possible. You'll be doing a lot of damage, especially with your 2 and your 1 with Heartseeker. So yeah, try to put as much pressure on it as you can when you use our Heartseeker build. But at the same time, you do have to be cautious about dying and losing half of your stacks. Now, next, you have 2 options. You can build to Aussie or Boots. I prefer to go into Aussie because you want lifesteal badly. Once you get the lifesteal up, you'll be much safer, and it'll be much easier for you to play aggressive because you have your lifesteal and you have Heartseeker. You got penetration now. You got some more attack speed. You'll be doing pretty good. You'll be hitting really hard at this point because Heartseeker should be pretty well stacked up at this point, as long as nothing bad's happened to you. Next we get Ninja Tabi for obviously the movement speed and attack speed, a little bit of damage. Not a whole lot to say about Boots. They're just boots. Then we're gonna go to Executioner. You're gonna get it for the penetration for the most part. A little more attack speed, never hurts. Still pretty good. Executioner is pretty much bottom for every hunter and every build, or pretty much any basic attack god that's physical will want Executioner because it's just so good. Next, we're gonna start going to crit. You want to get Rage. Rage will do slightly less damage than Deathbringer, but the reason why you want to get Rage first is because it makes your crit better. Deathbringer gives you a better spike in damage, but you get more DPS out of Rage because you will crit a lot more often with Rage than you will with Deathbringer. And you don't get the full benefits of Deathbringer if you're not critting. So yes, always get Rage first unless you're playing, at least hunter-wise, always get Rage first unless you're playing Artemis, who kind of has a Rage built in to her passive. Now there's some other gods that will rather just have Deathbringer, like Mercury or Circuit, but that's a completely different story. But yes, get Rage, then build Deathbringer, It's just you're gonna have 50% crit at this point, plus whatever else you get from rage if your basic attacks don't crit. It's gonna do an extra 50% crit damage. It's very good, very powerful. You're gonna be chunking people. And at this point, if you get this fully built, you should sell Heartseeker. You should sell your Heartseeker for a, if I can find it on here, sell for Bloodforge. Because Heartseeker's not gonna be that great late game, and you'll still have the threat of losing half your stacks, which is definitely not what you want to do late game, because you do not have time to go back and farm your stacks back up. So just sell the Heartseeker. Bloodforge is just maybe slightly worse than Dev Gloves, so you're not gonna be losing that much. And lastly, you want to sell your Aussie after you get Bloodforge finished, and you will want to get Malice for the extra crit. You're gonna do a lot of damage. The problem with the Heartseeker build, it does not do nowhere near as much. Well, it does pretty good damage compared to the triple crit build, but you will be, the enemy team's gonna do the enemy hunter will do a lot more damage than you if they're using the triple crit late game, if you're using the Heartseeker. So it'd be good to sell those two items just to be able to make your own triple crit also. I mean, triple crit is very powerful right now. Although, if you want to, which I guess I can go with this with the standard build that I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna say you don't have to get Malice because, well, I'll go with the other options you can get. Oops. Now for the standard build, which I'll go over now, which is gonna be the much safer build. You're not gonna be able to abuse Medusas early and mid game as well, but you're gonna be much safer. If you're playing Hunter on Medusa, you'll be able to take an even earlier Gold Fury, because the problem with Heartseeker, you won't be able to really take Gold Fury unless you have Lifesteal. You're gonna need the Lifesteal to be able to tank the Gold Fury. But anyway, for this, you will still want to start with Blue Stone Pendant, because, well, you need the mana regeneration. Then you're gonna start with Dev Gloves 1 for the extra lifesteal, and because you're building Dev Gloves first, and then a health push. So the first item you want to get is, of course, Dev Gloves. You want to go get this early, just like Heartseeker, because you want to go and start building stacks on it. I can't remember when the Dev Gloves nerf was. I can't remember if it's this coming up patch or not, but it's still really good. Not a whole lot of change on it. You lost a little bit of power in Dev Gloves, and you have to get 75 stacks now. But in the end, Dev Gloves is still a great item. Next, after that, we're gonna go into boots. You can either get Warrior or Ninja Tabby. At the end, it'll be 2% difference in damage. Warrior Tabby will be a little bit better power spike at the beginning, but I still like to get Ninja Tabby for the attack speed. Warrior Tabby wouldn't be the worst thing on Medusa to make her abilities better. I don't know. I just still like Ninja Tabby better. Personal opinion though. At the end of the game, if you do have Warrior Tabby though, you should sell it for Ninja Tabby for the attack speed, because your basic attacks would be doing a lot more damage than your abilities will. Next off, kind of have two options here, and you can either get Ichevol or Executioner. I like to get Ichevol if I'm doing just as well as the enemy hunter, if we're like tied or I'm slightly behind or slightly ahead. Get Ichevol. Ichevol's gonna make you really great at boxing. If you have Ichevol up and they don't have Ichevol up, they're not gonna be able to outbox you. It's just not gonna be possible. You're gonna take their damage. You're gonna give it to yourself. They're gonna be way too weak to be able to outbox you. Or you can just go straight into the Executioner. I only like to do it if I'm really far ahead of their hunter. Now you can just skip Ichevol altogether, even if you're just tied with them or just slightly ahead, because I mean Ichevol is gonna be a big boost in damage also. But If the enemy guy does have Ickable though, they will probably outbox you. Just saying. But yes, either way, I would really suggest though getting Ickable and then Executioner. And then after you finish Executioner, we're gonna go into the crit or get Rage, like I already mentioned with the other build. After that, we're gonna get Deathbringer, and then you got some options. You can either do Malice, like I was talking about with this is the standard triple crit build. I know this is 7 items right here, but after you finish Deathbringer, you'll want to sell your Ickable, because you want to sell Ickable for either Malice, so you go the triple crit. You can sell it for, oops, if I can get there, I'll see for more lifesteal. This will give you better sustain. This is actually pretty good if you're boxing an enemy hunter late game, because if they don't have Aussie and you do, you'll probably win that trade just because of the extra lifesteal you'll get. But that's also as long as you are hitting your auto attacks too, of course. Yes, Aussie is pretty good for that. Other than that, it's just to make you safer. You're going to be losing out on some damage, but you're trading that for survivability, which is a fair trade. And then your last option is the Oboe. The Oboe is very good for it's going to give you AoE basic attacks basically, and you'll be able to do a pretty good bit of damage with Oboe. You'll have a lot of attack speed with it. They're gonna have lightning bouncing off of them so much, especially that game. It's gonna be hurting them a pretty good bit. It's pretty good. I prefer Malice over the rest of them, but these other two do have benefits to them, and it's, well, personal opinion, personal choice on what you want. So the two main builds. The Fatalis build is pretty much dead now. It was ran for a little bit, and now people realize how bad it really was. Also because you had a double stack, and double stacking physical is really bad. Hunters care a little more about crit and penetration than they do like just straight power, which is also why you don't want to build Transcendence on Hunters. Please don't build Transcendence. It's not good on Hunters. Just not. It only gives you power, which Hunters don't really care that much about. Then we're going to go to actives. You really have only two choices for your actives. You need Sprint 3. This is why you don't need Fatalis. Fatalis is not needed on pretty much any god as long as Sprint 3 is in the game, except for maybe Kali. Kali can use Fatalis pretty well. But, geez, there's always an exception to the rule. But yes, get Sprint 3. Do not buy Fatalis. Just get Sprint 3. By the time you really need the movement speed again, as in another team fight, Sprint 3 will be up. Your job as a hunter is not really to chase down the enemies. That's kind of more your assassin. Your assassin should be more worried about picking off people as they're trying to leave a team fight. And then we got beads. There's a lot of CC in the game, so there's hardly ever a time when you don't need beads because they have a lot of CC. Now, if there is a strange instance where they don't have a lot of CC and they have someone like Poseidon, then maybe you can get Aegis. But for the most part, you just want to get beads and Sprint 3. So that's going to do it for the build for Medusa. Also forgot to mention another build for hunters, which I would not run as a main hunter build right now, and that's the Banshee. If you don't know what the Banshee is, I did a video on it. It's a build that Crit did. That's kind of the predecessor to the Unicorn build. It's a lot of fun. I like it. I'll play it like solo, but if I was playing in the hunter role, I would not use it. I would just use either the Heartseeker or triple crit. So now we're going to go over Medusa's abilities. Her passive is Sidewinder. She gets no movement penalty when strafing or moving back. Well, she gets half the movement penalty when moving backwards. This might not seem like much of a passive, but it's actually pretty good, I think. Extra movement speed is, although it doesn't really give you extra movement speed, but you're not getting a movement penalty, so you're going to be moving faster than them strafing or moving backwards, so I consider that extra movement speed. And extra mobility is never a bad thing for anybody. Mobility is very important. It's very underestimated. And yeah, her passive's not that bad. Now we're gonna get our first ability, Viper Shot. This is a big reason why she's so powerful right now. If you hit all three of these, which is not as especially very easy to do after you hit your ultimate and you hit them with the stun on it. You hit them with that, then you Viper Shot them, hit them with all three shots, they're probably dead. This ability does so much damage. You get an increased attack speed of 100%, so you can shoot it off really quickly. You can be critting with it. It's just, yeah, this ability is just crazy. And the biggest reason why she needs to be nerfed. And just getting nerfed. Next we got Acid Spray. This ability is also, I find, ridiculous in lane, because this thing has a lot of range on it. It's very good for clearing the minions. And, well, after you hit the minions, you're going to just try to aim it at the very first minion of the wave. It's going to hit them. It's going to splash back. It's going to hit all the minions behind them. And if the enemy guy's standing anywhere close to the minion wave, it's going to hit them too. Anywhere close. This thing has a crazy amount of range on it. I've gone against Medusa or played as Medusa, and I was either nowhere close to the wave or they were. And I still got hit by it. Because this ability, it's just crazy. I would definitely level this up first though for laning, because this could be your main form of clear. Viper Shot to get second. Third, I would get Lacerate. Lacerate is an ability that I don't like a whole lot, but I think it's fine. It's good for chasing people down, because if you hit them, it's going to reduce their healing, which can help you in boxing other enemy gods, well, any enemy hunters, because it puts the healing reduction on them. Does a decent bit of damage. The problem is, and the main reason why I don't like it, it's not a very good escape. Because they're surrounding you and you lacerate to escape, and there's an enemy god standing in front of you. You're just going to run into them. You're not going anywhere. You're just going to die. It's kind of the downfall of this ability. The only reason why I don't really like it a whole lot. But it's still not bad for what it does. It's good for attacking, not so great for running away. Then we got Petrify. One of the best hunter teamfights abilities, if not the best. I know some people are kind of iffy on Fields of Love from Cupid. I really like Fields of Love. Alright, sorry about that. I don't understand what's been going on with my internet here lately in the afternoon. For some reason it just kind of goes out sometimes. I don't understand it. But anyway, had to look into that sometime. Anyway, like I was saying, I know some people aren't the biggest fan of Cupid's ultimate, because if they just have beads, then it's like whatever. I mean, it could be very easily countered by actives. I still like Cupid's ultimate though. Hou Yi has a very good teamfight ultimate also. But I kind of personally like Medusa's teamfight. I like Petrify probably the best for teamfight ultis from hunters. Now, this is an ultimate you do not want to use at the start of a teamfight, because they can easily turn around. You want to use it kind of in the middle of a team fight, because among all the chaos of when the team fight is going on, they might not be really paying attention to when you're going to be ulting. And if you can hit a few of them during the middle of a team fight, they're just going to die and you're going to win. And that's how that goes. And that's pretty much going to do it for Medusa. I like Medusa a lot. I've been playing her solo mostly because, well, I play solo lane. She's a lot of fun. She's going to get nerfed, but don't worry about that. She's still going to be really good. Sorry about my internet going out for a second, so hopefully I'll be able to fix it. Yeah. And now apparently everyone wants to come knock on my door while I'm trying to do this. But anyway, this is the end of the video. Sorry about all the distractions. I really hate when that happens. But anyway, if you enjoyed, if there's another guide y'all want to see next, just let me know. And well, I'll do it. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day and have fun.